Chris Fisher, welcome first to Oklahoma, and great to have you on as the Oklahoma City Thunder's new play-by-play voice on television.
Well, thanks for having me. It's been a great couple of days here and getting to know everybody and meeting everybody, and the city has been so welcoming that I'm really feeling like they're bringing me in with open arms.
Give us some of your background, a West Coast guy?
Very much a West Coast guy with some very deep California roots, where I grew up and also where I went to college and where I've worked really for the last 8 years at USC as their basketball radio announcer and done a lot of TV work for Pac-12 Network and Fox Sports and Time Warner Cable. So got some West Coast roots, but this opportunity will bring you out of California in a hurry. So I'm glad to be out here.
I see you have some minor league baseball in your resume too.
Well, now we're going way back, at least in my career. That's how I got my first job in broadcasting, was with minor league baseball, and I always thought that it was important for young broadcasters to go out there and get the experience and to get the reps to try to get better, and that's the route that I took. Did it for single-A baseball in Woodbridge, Virginia, right out of college, and then migrated back toward the West Coast and did it for the Eugene Emeralds, which is one of the Padres affiliates at the time. Did that for 3 more years before finally going full time on the SC basketball front. So that's going back a few years, but definitely still there on the resume.
Your background, I guess, leads to basketball. That's your favorite sport?
I'm an equal opportunity sports consumer, as I like to describe it. I never really said, you know what, this is the sport that I have to do. I just wanted to be around sports, and this is kind of where my career took me. But I mean, obviously, I'm a huge NBA fan, and I've been following the Thunder kind of from afar. You have to, because of the weight that the organization has in the NBA and in the league, and with its personnel and sort of its young, unique history. So, been a big fan of not only the organization but a league, and something that you pay very, very close attention to.
Kind of excited to be actually making your Thunder television debut in Tulsa with that final preseason game with the Atlanta Hawks.
I actually have some broadcast experience in that building, the BOK Center. 2 years ago, USC was in the NCAA tournament, and we had a very nice upset win over over SMU, and then played Baylor in the next round and ended up losing. So I've actually been in that building. It was the first time I've ever been to Oklahoma, which was a lot of fun.
Chris, what about the adjustment? Coming from the West Coast to be an Oklahoma guy, what are some of your first impressions of the Sooner State?
It's a state that is very prideful, that I've noticed, and it is very in line with what you hear about states in this particular part of the country, where they're very welcoming, very nice, and everybody here has just been so warm and welcoming to me so far, and making me want to feel a part of Oklahoma. And it's obviously a little bit of an adjustment coming from the West Coast and coming from Southern California in a big market where just the wavelength of life is different. But the people here and how nice they are and how grounded they are is really something that I've noticed very, very early on and very much appreciate.
Your very first NBA experience, though, that can be quite a grind. 82 games. You were ready for that and all this travel?
Well, I did minor league baseball for a period of time, and I think that's probably even a little bit rougher than doing 82 games and traveling on planes when you take into consideration the bus rides, the overnight bus rides, the different cities, the I would say lesser hotels, and that's kind of like a baptism into sports broadcasting, which I think everybody kind of needs. So it's always one of those things that you can't really describe it to somebody until you do it. And then once you do it, you're like, okay, this is it. There's no way to prepare for it. You just can't do it until you do it.
Talk about your style, Chris. What can the viewers, the Oklahoma City Thunder fans, expect from Chris Fisher?
Well, broadcasting is I think, a very unique thing for the individual, and I haven't ever really sort of styled my broadcasting to a certain broadcaster. I've never tried to repeat someone's style. There's guys who I admire, but I've tried to keep it unique to me. And within that, there's a certain amount of joy that I try to infuse in the broadcast and enthusiasm that I want the listener to get, because I'm happy to be doing what I'm doing. I love what I do, and I want that passion to somehow get transferred to the people that are watching, so that they are like, you know what, this is a good experience. This is somebody who's enjoying what he's doing, and I hope they get as much joy out of it as I do.
Interesting, you said you really have kind of followed the Thunder from afar, but know of the Oklahoma City Thunder's reputation. As a young team, they've had quite an impact on the NBA.
Huge. It's impossible to miss, not only, and it's really for a variety of reasons, not only because the team's success in moving from Seattle and then getting to the NBA Finals and having star players, I mean, that's one thing, but if there's another that really stands out, it's really how important this organization is to the city, to its fans, and that really special relationship that has been built over the years, the pride that the fans have, the passion that the fans have for this team, and really what the organization gives back. And that's something that, even from afar, just on a national level, is something that you notice and that you hear about, and something that gets publicized in a good way. And I think that was something that drew me to this particular opportunity, being a part of that, which is something that's unique and special in its own way.
Chris Fisher, the new television voice and face of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Welcome to Oklahoma.
Thank you very much, Chris. You got a great first name.